I'm trying to stay focused. All right.
We're filming. And you're eating a cookie. It's a very, very thin cookie.
What?
We're recording a video you're supposed to be speaking on, and you're over there. Hold on a minute. She has to take a drink of water. This mic is so sensitive that it probably picked up all of your chewing.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be watching the beginning of this video with just you chewing on a cookie.
All right, you ready?
I've been ready. I've been waiting for you to get done eating your cookie.
It's been that kind of day. But let's start this off. Ohayou gozaimasu.
You really should have told me you were going to do that before. Before now. You don't want to spring that on me. Just...
It's so great because you get to see all my faces and you hardly make any faces, so I have to do something to make a face, to get you to make a face. Anyways.
That's a good way to get me to make a face.
I don't know. That's why I did the British opening and that other weird one.
What's the Korean thing we like?
Aish.
That would have been the right response to what you just did.
Exactly. And it would all have been in the Asian culture.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome to another Untitled Evenings. It's been that kind of day, so that's why I'm eating cookies.
It's been that kind of weekend.
Yeah. Oh, God bless.
America.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my phrase. When it's that bad, that's what I have to say, so I'm not cussing around the kids. I think even Jacob started to pick up on it a little bit.
Probably. He's a pretty smart kid.
And the weekend's been kind of, I wouldn't say crappy.
No, it's just been stressful.
It's just been hard. Yeah. Yeah. Alexander's changing. I'm not sure if it's the weather or the time change.
Or he's going to be 2 in a month.
And the terrible twos does not exist in our family because we've been experiencing terribleness off and on since.
I think it started at the terrible 2 months.
Yeah. No,
he was
still an angel then.
I think we remember things differently.
No, I remember him laying on our couch at 2 months on his back, and his legs were going like this.
Yes, they were.
Like, he was only awake for what, maybe an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an hour and a half? And half that time was spent with his legs going back and forth like he was cycling as fast as he could. And a friend of mine who had twins was like, you're going to have your hands full with that.
Yeah, what was it? Every time I tried to change his diaper, it was like, where'd all these extra legs come from? He's supposed to have 2, but it's kind of like he has 6.
Yeah.
Because he was kicking and moving so much. It was pretty ridiculous.
It really was. Like, he's so much different from our oldest.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
there's a lot that they have in common.
Yeah. So he's changing, our youngest.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's
Our oldest is changing, too. They're both. I mean, it's that time. He's 10, and Jacob's 10. Alexander's going to be 2 in a month.
Yeah.
Those are times when kids change.
Yeah. And Jacob's been an even keel kid since he was born. He's got lots of energy, but his personality, his characteristic, has not been to talk back to us, to be argumentative or anything like that. Within the last month or two, his opinion, his thoughts, everything has escalated 1,000%. And again, he's not acting like a normal kid because they would be slamming doors, they would be cussing at you.
Yeah, he doesn't do any of that.
Throwing stuff around. So it's just, he makes decisions without us, and we're just like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just going to go off and blah, blah. I'm like, no.
No, 10-year-old, you don't make those decisions on your own.
You can't do that.
There's some you can, and we encourage him to make decisions on his own.
Yes.
But there is a class of decision
Yeah.
that is still parent level.
Yeah.
And we're just having to set those boundaries now, so he understands that these are the types of decisions you can make without talking to us, because you're 10, you can make those decisions. A class of decisions above that you don't make. You just have to continue to reinforce that with him.
Yeah, it's just
He's
never,
10.
yeah, and just never had to do it before. So we had a talk with him yesterday about good habits, good choices.
Good decisions, yeah.
And he's been doing a great job today.
Yeah, it was great today.
Yeah. So our youngest, it's just that time. You know, I told Chris, it's like, okay, apparently this is going to be our growing pains.
Yeah.
And so Alexander's going to be 2 next month, and he's, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, he's fine. He's playing. He's loud, which is normal.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, he's on the floor kind of throwing a tantrum, which is whining right now.
He's getting into the kicking and throwing a fit
Yes.
things. He's starting that.
Yes, he is. And so since Alexander's turned 1, we've gone through periods of time where he'll throw tantrums and then he'll be fine. And then he'll throw tantrums and then he'll be fine. But this just kind of came out of the blue. Like, he normally wouldn't lay on the floor, throw a tantrum. He normally wouldn't look at you like, figure it out already.
Well, yeah, and that was the other thing, too, is most of his tantrums were connected to events. We would tell him not to do something, we would take something away from him, and now he's just randomly throwing fits for no reason we can discern.
Yeah.
I don't know if we did something happen and we didn't see it, but I've been in the room sometimes and watching him, and he's gone from, I'm so happy, blah, blah, blah. The next second he's on the ground screaming and crying for no apparent reason. So
Yeah.
we need to keep an eye on that. Was that your stomach making sounds?
Probably. I've been burning
Her stomach was rude. It was making noises while we were
lots
talking.
of calories, so. I was going to talk about the other thing, but now you're doing that.
Is that good?
Huh?
Is that good? Trying to keep you awake.
Yeah.
Hey.
So,
Hey.
what's funny
Hey.
about us is our relationship. We don't do that because we did that while we were dating, and I couldn't handle it.
Correct.
I couldn't handle the ribbing or the teasing, and it's not really making fun of the other, but it's just, you know.
No, I wouldn't make fun of you.
I know, but other people would. I'm trying to stay focused. All right. But what's really funny is that when I get tired or I don't feel well, whatever the case may be, I do the weirdest, silliest things. And so here's the example. We're just kind of laying out, having a lazy Sunday morning because I haven't been feeling well over the weekend. Chris is laying down, his butt's facing me, and all I want to do is just poke his butt. And so that's what I do. I just start poking his butt, and he's like swatting at me. I do it again. I keep poking his butt, and he's laughing, and he's swatting at me. And so then an image pops in my head that there are animals that have pests that bother them. Like elephants have flies. Rhinoceros probably have flies.
Horses, yeah.
And they're always flapping their tail or their trunk, trying to get the pest to go away. Well, in this case, the pest can't go away because we're married.
That boat sailed a long time ago.
Right.
No getting rid of the pest now.
Right, exactly. So it's funny as I'm doing that, and our oldest comes over, and Jacob starts trying to tickle Chris's butt.
It's just, don't need that.
Right.
Not at all. Yeah. Your fault.
Oh, well. That's the other thing. When I'm tired, I'm like, whatever. So, what else do we do when we're tired? What do you do to me when you're tired? You just kind of lay all over me, don't you?
Yeah. I'll just come over and flop down on the couch and use her as a pillow kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I weigh a lot.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily a good thing.
No,
it's not comfortable.
Well, the thing is that I don't expect it. The next day I'm like, being pushed over to the side, and then I have to work to get him back up. And we've had this discussion. I'm like, dude, if you ever pass out, if you ever are in a position where I have to drag you.
Yeah, I'm going to stay where I'm at.
He's going to have to stay.
I'm not going to move.
Because, I mean, even if Chris was at his leanest weight, which would probably be around 190 pounds, 200?
Like 210 is, I can't weigh less than 200 pounds. Like my bones weigh more than that.
No.
It's ridiculous.
I just remember when we were living in that house in Nicholasville, the first one, not the rat hole, you were around 200 pounds.
That's about my,
okay.
That's my ideal weight.
Point is
about 200 pounds because I'm just a big guy.
Even if you weighed 200 pounds, 210, it would still be difficult to drag this guy to safety. Why? Because he's got these huge ass bones. Like, they're huge, people. Huge. His thigh is bigger than both of my thighs together. Okay? When you have big bones, they're heavy. And then you add his length to it, which is 6 to 6'1". There's no way. I told him I would not be able to pick him up from his shoulders and his head and drag him because it would just not possible because there's just so much weight on this upper end. I might be able to take him and I might be able to drag him a couple of feet.
It's like you just probably roll me.
And then that's what happens.
That would be the good
His
roll
genius
me.
brain hops in and tells me, you need to roll me because that would be the easiest. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would wind up probably throwing up his arms or putting them next to his side and just...
Woo! Like that? Like what we're talking about?
Well, what would be the easiest way to roll you? Have you all tucked in next to your arms and your body?
I don't think there's going to be any easy way to roll me. Because even rolling, I'm just a giant, so it's not...
Sure.
Going to be easy.
Especially with your broad shoulders, it'd be like flop, 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 flop.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not really roll as much as boom, 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 boom. Like, there's no rolling. You just throw me over and then...
You're like a big square.
Yeah, it's pretty much, you know.
Anyways.
Yeah. And just, you know, for any of you out there, there's this whole, like, big bone thing, and there's a lot of stuff going around. It's like no one's big boned, you're just fat, which is true. Like, the majority of the people that are like, I'm big boned, they just are heavy. But there are different densities as well as sizes of bones in the human
well, sure.
race.
I mean,
yeah, I have giant.
Look at us.
So, they can't see. Like, go like that. There you go.
Okay.
See, big, giant.
Very. Anyway. I mean, look at that. I can't.
Yeah, there's no fat on my wrist.
Yeah.
It's all just bone.
And I can't even get around the whole thing.
And so yeah, I've got big, giant bones, and my leg bones are
seriously.
huge.
I mean, they're ridiculously large,
and they're super dense and heavy. Like that's the other thing too. Like,
yeah.
You know,
You don't have any fat on your legs.
I don't have brittle bones. I have very dense, strong bones. Are almost impossible to break.
Thank God.
Because I'm part caveman. Like I have.
Yeah.
I have a large percentage of caveman DNA in my system. So.
I told you guys he was alien part mutant a couple episodes ago. So. I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact our youngest has his DNA of bone density and structure because that kid came out with turkey thighs.
Yeah, he's massive.
Ridiculous. And each time we look at him, they just keep getting bigger and bigger, and we're like, it's just ridiculous.
Yep.
Jacob's got more of my stature. He's tall and thin, but he still has a really good...
He's super solid, though. And he's dense. Like, he doesn't look like he's very heavy.
Oh,
and then you go to move him, and he weighs 2 of what he should.
Yeah.
Because he's got your frame, but I think he has,
your
like,
bone
the dense
structure.
bones that I have. So.
Most definitely. So, we're creating a new human race.
Or just a really old one. Pulling that back. So, just like the teeth.
Yeah.
Waiting to see which of the boys get my vampire teeth.
Well, you have more vampire teeth, but the dentist both told us that we had carnivore teeth.
Yeah. So we have horrible teeth to take care of because the dentist told us apparently mine are the worst.
Yeah.
It's that, you know, when we were running through the forest needing to, you know, jump a gazelle and kill it and rip it apart, like my teeth were made for that. They're super sharp and have really deep ravines in the center, so you can rip and tear. They're not really made for eating vegetables.
Yeah.
Even though I like vegetables, I'm not saying that, but they're engineered for ripping meat apart.